What a trip this Perek has been. Nimseinu as we are in the final paragraphs. Ki ikar mitzios ha'adam ba'olam hazeh. The main mitzias, reality, existence of man in this world. Who rak l'kayim mitzvahs lavod lama b'nisayin. We're here for three things, friends: to do mitzvahs, to be oved, to worship, and to stand b'nisayin. Now we haven't discussed standing b'nisayin directly so much, but it's definitely what we're talking about, the battle on one side and the other, etc. And I want to talk more about that. We have a whole special section, a longer section coming up, just on the topic of Amidah b'nisayin. But this is the famous threesome: mitzvahs, v'lavod, v'lamod b'nisayon. Person could put that like, three is, a marketing thing. So connect, inspire, grow, and is looked at usually. They talk about the power of three words. So I'm not saying that's what Mesilas Yesharim was doing here. This is not marketing, but it's good for us to remember those three things: mitzvahs, avoda, nisayin. Manos olam ein rai. And what are the pleasures of this world about for us? Ein rai shilo ella le'ezer l'siyua, a help. Bilvad. L'shiyeh lo nachas ruach Yeshivas Das. The person has nachas ruach Yeshivas Das. Hard to translate exactly. Perhaps we can say it means like calm satisfaction. That would be nachas ruach, like a calm satisfaction. It feels good. It's a freedom, we say in Yiddish. Yeshivas Das, like mindfulness, calm mindfulness. I think we know those terms. Nachas ruach, lots of nachas ruach. Nachas ruach, Yeshivas Das. We could loosely translate as mental health, emotional well-being. And it's important to note here that the physical things and the hanos of this world are there to help us in those areas also. It's one, that I should have koch for avodas Hashem. A healthy body is needed for a healthy spirit. A person's sick, can't be oved, can't daven, can't learn, can't do chesed, stuck in bed, stuck in difficulties, etc. But it's also the mental health and emotional well-being, the nachas ruach Yeshivas Das that the world, that physical things give sometimes. I know if I have this food, it'll settle me, it'll calm me, this coffee, maybe going out to eat once in a while. This thing, my life is something else, but I need these things sometimes. Sometimes, I think we mentioned before, the idea of promising yourself something. If I'm successful in this way, I will allow myself this. Emotional well-being. But the point is that the main point of my life is the mitzvahs, avoda, and amidah b'nisayin, and the physical things help me. And they're there to help me. And as we said, when they help me in those ways, they become elevated. And they're great. And now I can turn my heart. Lifnot means to like turn. In modern Hebrew it says lifnot, you mean is smola. I can turn my heart. I can dedicate myself to what my life is all about. Vamnam, roy lo shatia kol pniyato rakal bari yisbarach. My turnings, my pniya, my direction is bari olam. Rakal bodas, such amazing lines here. Every line has to be savored and thought about and reviewed. Like the Mesilas Yesharim says at the beginning, we can only do it once in our little podcast. But a person, you have the sefer, you have the words in front of you. Review them, go over them. Note words which are especially meaningful to you, and review those words. And this is one of those lines, I think. Roy lo shtitiye kol pniyato rak lebori tiborach. Hashem, the Blessed One. There's no real purpose in anything I do. In katon and gadol, the big things I do, small things I do, is all borei olam. It's all turning towards Him. Elid karev love you the borach, to get close to Him. What am I doing now? When I exercise, I'm getting close to Hashem. What do I do when I raise my children? I'm getting close to Hashem. What do I do in my work? Get close to my Hashem. Guess what? What am I doing even in my Torah mitzvahs? Getting close to Hashem. Not mechanical actions, just to be orthodox, or to show my devotion to Him, or to show that I have to be an Orthodox Jew. I'm getting close to Him. That's what I'm headed towards in everything I do. High goal. But that's the idea. And the beauty of this is it gives meaning to everything. Every small thing a person does has meaning. And everybody's looking for meaning. Everybody's striving, craving, desperate. And here you are. Every small thing you do becomes elevated in the greatest way. Small or gadol, because it's all for this great great, great purpose of getting close to Hashem. Some things we feel it more, some things we feel it less. Some things we understand exactly more how they get us there. Some we understand less, right? For some people, when they do chesed, they feel godly. Some people, when they learn Torah, they feel godly. But when we're exercising and we're doing the mitzvahs that we relate to, less, with the right kavanah, we're also getting close to Kadosh Baruch Hu. V'lishbor, kol ha-mechitzos. I love this imagery. And to break all the walls, hamafsikos, beno leben kono. I'm breaking down the walls. They're barriers, a mechitza. They're Berlin walls, China walls. I'm breaking down the barriers between me and Hashem. Imagine a young couple, crazy for each other, but they have a lot of barriers between them. Parental approval. His parents don't like her parents don't like him. Distance, different concepts. Friends in the way, maybe old relationships they had. There's all types of mechitzas between them. But they're so strongly working to get over the mechitzas, and nothing's going to stop them from deeply connecting to each other. Nothing's going to stop them from breaking through that Berlin Wall. That's how it has to be this world and the Borei Olam Tas. All of these things we've been discussing about, all physicality, all bad midos, our gaiva, our lack of self-discipline, our lack of self-confidence, our love of physicality, our hedonistic side, all those things are mechitzas, my lack of knowledge, lack of holding on to, not chazering enough. All those things are mechitzas. So many walls, and a person's breaking through his whole life. What happens when a person does this? Here's the good news. Even in this world, shimoshech acharav, a person is drawn towards him. Yizborach mamash kibarzel acher even hashoves. What's barzel? Barzel is metal. Acher even hashoves. What's even hashoves? Shoves. In Hebrew, we say a vacuum cleaner, which happens to be a very meduyak term because it vacuums. Shoev avak. Lishov. It means to draw into yourself, to vacuum it, right? Evan shoeves is a magnet. So a person can be connected to the Rebbeinu Shalom in this world, like you see by certain tzaddikim, like a magnet there. Just like we go to food sometimes, and you get into the lunchroom, all you can see. I know by me, I hate cold food. I don't hate cold food. I'm happy. Let me qualify that a little bit. No one should look badly at me or worse at me. I don't like spending money for cold food. We pay for the pizza. Don't let it get cold. Doesn't taste as good. You heat it up, okay, but right, you gotta go to it. We go to things. Our saliva starts going. We want to get to an event, an entertainment thing, a musical thing, right? We push towards it. That's how the tzaddikim are, and that's how we all could be inside of us towards ruchnis, towards the Rebbeinu Shalom, like metal to a magnet. Jump. Now, what does that mean? I think the idea here is simple, that it's inside of us, and this is really a beautiful thought, and this is very much spoke about in different chassidios, Chabad chassidus a lot, that our ratzon, our desire, is Borei Olam. We have all this stuff covering us, our body, all in Yani Chomris, all these things backing us up, locking us in, concealing us, not letting us be who we want to be. So when we break through some of those things, then our true self comes out. Give a small mushal and analogy. Sometimes you could have someone who's extremely funny or has a wonderful personality, but they have a lack of self-confidence. So lack of self-confidence is a wall from their real personality coming out. You don't see in them any humor, you don't see in them any vie de jour, any creativity, but it's all inside. So it's not that you have to teach them creativity, you have to teach them humor, you have to get past whatever's holding them back. Wow, what a wonderful, interesting, effervescent human being that is. But they needed something to clear them off. The eyesight is good, but the glasses are messy. Then you clean the glasses. Oh, the eyesight is right there. So that's our souls are brimming with the Rebbeinu Shalom. Livi b'sari, Yoranu kel chai. Tzom l'cha nafshi, kam l'cha b'sari, psukim v'tilim. We mamish, that's who we are. We're inside, and it's nice to know that. It's important to know that. Some of us don't feel it too much. Sometimes we feel at certain points, feel at other points, etc. But all of us has to know that that's deep inside of us. And the more we can break down the mechitzas, the more we can unleash the power that's in us and unleash the love that's in us and the desire for closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And again, I repeat every line here, right? Every line is something to think about and to note, and is necessary, is meduyik, and is exact. Like Rabbi Salanter said, I think we mentioned in an earlier session that until I think the 11th Perek or the 9th Perek, he said every word is exact. After that, I just don't know. It's too deep for me, basically, he said, or I don't understand it well enough to know if it's exact, and you have to understand something that was exact. Did the Chinese writer write in an exact way? I don't know Chinese, I can't tell. So he knew, but later Prakim, the Mesilas Yesharim got so deep that even the great Rabbi Salanter, Gaon HaGaonim, the heart of Avodas Hashem, couldn't understand them fully. But here he understood, and he said every word is exact. And look at this line. And this is a great way, a great cheshbon and nefesh for me and for us to all think about and judge and evaluate things. How do we evaluate things that come in front of us? Listen to this. Anything that could be a means to this korban, this can get me closer to Hashem. Yirdof acharov, run after it. V'yochaz bo v'lo yarpeu. Run, grab, don't let go. Run, grab, don't let go. Something which keeps me away. I run away from a fire. Wow. Let's spend a little bit of time on those lines. Anything that a person sees as a kurva, there's a certain person. This person can connect me, but they're busy. This person can connect me, but they're not fully friendly to me, right? So many people, I say about doctors, sometimes you have an unfriendly doctor. Is he a good doctor? The friendly doctor doesn't mean he's better. Go to the better doctor. Okay, he's not friendly. Rabbanim generally are much friendlier, of course, especially in our generation. But then let's say a certain Rav was a little bit of a caustic personality, but his Torah, his insights can be helpful to you. But he's not, doesn't always smile at me. He doesn't say, how are you? But he can be a source of connection between you and the Rebbeinu Shalom. His ideas can elevate you, can move you. Or someone who's friendly and very busy. You have to grab on a certain sefer. Every neshama connects to different svarim. A certain book in English, in Hebrew, Yiddish, Spanish, French, etc. that you connect to, that speaks to you. Run after it. Go get it. Buy it. Don't spend extra money. Don't be cheap on svarim. Other things to be cheap about. Cheap on svarim. It has another ha'ara. That ha'ara, that thought, is something that can connect you further. That sheer, you got to run after it. It was said about Rav Hutner, I like to repeat, that he had this mean that wherever you saw in him, whatever could connect him to Kedusha, he was connected to. He went to the altar of Navardik's daughter, Rebbetzin Yafin. Rebbetzin Yafin was her name, an older woman, and he went, and she kind of was in charge of the institutions of Navardik. In the end, he gave her a $1,000 check. This is 50, 60 years ago, probably. And one of the Talmidim that was there with him said to him, "Now, so much money, Rosh Yeshivah. How could you give her so much money for the institutions?" He said, "I gave money for the institution. I gave money for the chance to be with her." He was referring to a woman, saying, that he could gain insight into the depth of misunderstood Navardik Musar. Navardik is very, very misunderstood. People make these silly jokes. Begin to understand the depth of Navardik, what it was. And had 2,000 Talmidim who were most in Nefesh in Russia, with simplicity, with emes, with drive, with simcha, with humor. Read The Fire Within from Philip Goldberg, an unbelievable book about Musar in general, about Navardik. Befrad, he has a nice section about Navardik was something amazing. Here's the Navardik's daughter. Now, I want to point out, today especially, a person has to be a little bit careful. The great expression, tafasta meruba lo tafasta. You try to grab too much, you grab nothing, right? Oh, so I like this tzaddik and like that. That's you have parsha sheets today. I don't know how it is with all of our friendly listeners are, but in Eretz Yisrael you could have 50 parsha sheets. Now they have booklets of parsha sheets today. Understand? So, I want to read Chaim Kanievsky, and I want to read Rav Aviner, and I want to read this one and that one. So then you're just mebalbel yourself. You have to focus, and there's so much to grab for. It's like a smorgasbord of Torah Anytime, or other sites have thousands and thousands of shiurim. Chanukah is coming. I'll be oches in this year and oches in that year. Now then your oches is nothing. Tafasta merubah lo tafasta. So too rabbinic personalities. You can't have too many. Then you get used to. But what you can be meichel, right? What you can handle. Then of course another insight, another angle, another way. But you have to go slow. See Meyer, my favorite tzaddik. I see he mamish brings from everyone almost. It's incredible that the tefisa he has, how many Lifish Gedolim and obviously all the Hasidish Gedolim, and hundreds of Svarim are brimming in his head that he's worked through, that he's codified, that he knows what they said about things. It's staggering, but his neshama can handle so much, right? Many neshamas, many people, the tefisa leis can't handle that much. So one has to watch himself, or what does it mean? Let's say, okay, I have my seder, or have the time I spend with my wife, time I spend with my husband, but now another opportunity comes about, so I run after that. Wait, not so fast, because you're running from one thing to another thing, right? So it needs a shikol hadas, needs a judgment to what we run to, what we don't run to, where we run to. I spend Shabbos. I go spend Shabbos in Medjugorje, or what's the hashpagah in our family? I want to be an uman for Rosh Hashanah. Could be, right? That's a good example. Uman Rosh Hashanah is a powerful thing. Okay, but what's it going to cost my family? So maybe I'm running away from one connection to the Ron Hashem. Being with my family in Rosh Hashanah is a way to connect to the Ron Hashem and connect others to the Ron Hashem. But I want to be an uman for Rosh Hashanah. Wait. So you have to think. So it's not simple, right? But that's the idea. The idea is definitely this running after, right? This can get me close to Hashem. This can be a source of, this is a means for that connection. I'm going after it, right? And on the other side, things that can keep me away from, Yivrach min kibrach manesh, I have to run away from that. This is not, this person used to be my friend, and they're nothing against them, but I'm in a different place now. And when I'm around them, I don't bring them up, they bring me down. And it brings me to a lot of places that I want to be. These ideas, these books, these videos, these movies, these ideas, they bring me to a different place. That's not kirbus habara, it's something else. A person can be too fast. Say, oh, my exercise keeps me away from Hashem, I'm not going to exercise anymore. Or healthy diversions, healthy outlets, etc. Playing guitar. There were people, I heard about a certain Baal Tshuva, who was known actually a little bit, but they say what he became from me, like throughout his violin, is an unhealthy thing, right? But it could be, and I say this with care, it might be a certain way for certain people. Their connection to XYZ thing could be something which is keeping them away, and they have to do something dramatic and extreme sometimes, because for them it takes them, I can't daven. I'm so stuck in sports, or I'm so stuck in music that I can't connect to the Baruch Shem through his Torah and through his Tefillah, and I have to separate myself. Or for many people, when they separate themselves, then it becomes unhealthy, right? Part of you, my Rebbe of life, this says, you meet sometimes Bali Tshuva, that after time, you find they have a certain malaise, a certain overall illness that's unchartable, undiagnosable. So Rav Leichter said to me once, what is it? He says, they cut off part of themselves. It was part of them, and they have this unhealthiness to them, because it's not, they cut off, so the person just cuts his hand away, right? You bandage it really well, you put on a lot of pride, you have no hand, you're going to eventually feel it. Where's your hand? What's with you, right? That's, someone said to me about, a Rosh Yeshivah said to me one time about a student, he understood for this Talmud, playing basketball wasn't an outlet, it was his hand. I was impressed by that comment, and this Rosh Yeshivah was, even went to go watch this Talmud go play games and things, even he was playing with, not even members of our religion, he was so good that he had to go play with others, not with the Jewish boys, little Jewish boys. He had to play with the big boys. And the Rosh Yeshivah said, I used to go, I would watch him and see him to give him support, because he needed that, right? But that's it. So you have to know. But the point is, not to get stuck in the details, just trying to bring it out. The things that bring me closer to Rebbeinu Shalom, I run towards. The things that bring me far from the Rebbeinu Shalom, I run away from. I run away. Like what? Fire, because it's fire, because it's keeping me away from the purpose of my life. It's keeping me away from my essence. It's keeping me away of what I'm here for. Okay, easy to say, harder to live. Hashem should mechazik me and all of us. My soul was dovek to you. Be tamcha yaminech. To me, your right hand supports. Why? His coming to this world. Eina ela l'tachlis hazeh. Dahainu lasiga de kurbazos, to get to this closeness. B'malto nafsho, like milut is like keeping away from. Mikol moneh mafsida. I'm getting to this kurva, doing the positive things I need to get there, and avoiding all the things which keep me away from that. Bine, final paragraph, friends. Achar shiyadanu, after we know Vidbar, and it became clear to us. We had that word in that Dhamma, Burer. Etzlenu amitas klal hazeh, Burer and emes. this that we know it's clarified. Remember, Mesilas Yesharim said we have to have clarity about things and we have to have emes about them. And we spoke out there that sometimes a person can be clear, but it's untrue. Sometimes something could be true but not clear. So you have to have clarity about the truth. So here we have it again. Akshi Adanu, we know, vid barer, and its clarities. That's what it's about. It's one klal. This Perek is a klal. It's one big klal. Yesh lanu lachkor. Now we have to delve into al pratab lefi madrik yoseyim, and over its details. Wow, the rest of the book, friends, is just details. It's worth continuing, right? Not because of my podcast. It's worth continuing for you to hear all of the details, because every detail is its own klal, and there are details which here would stand on their own to change our lives and to get us to the purpose of our purposes. Yeah. Mitchilas Adar Vad Sof. We got to go into Kamoshet Rabbi Pinchas Ben Yair, as Rabbi Pinchas Ben Yair laid it out, as he mentioned in his Hakdama. Mamaro Shalosh Sheivenu Kfar B'Hakdama Teinu Veim Hazihirus. That's being careful. Hazrizus, alacrity. Nikias, being clean, not in body but in soul. Precious, separation from the physical world. Hatara is purity. Chassidus. We'll see what Chassidus is. I'll be about 100, many sessions away. Hanava. Yiras Chet, Vakdusha. Vatan Nevarim Echad B'siyata D'Shmaya. And now we will explain them B'siyata D'Shmaya. Okay, so we have a lot of work to do. Let's continue the journey.